Thea and Roy in the last episode how much she really cared for him when he was kidnapped, and how much he was changed by how much he was kidnapped. So how does this now change their relationship going forward?
I think that Roy and Thea's relationship is actually a very interesting thing, because Roy is kind of a reality check for Thea. I mean, she's kind of been going on a virtuous path now that she's working at CNRI, and she's been taking care of her mother in a sense, who's been really actually trying to be a good girl. She falls in love with this brooding bad guy, and I think she really wants to kind of put him under her newly changed wings. I mean, really, and kind of help him out a little bit. And she sees a lot of potential inside of him, which he does have, and he has potential to be a very good person. So she's trying to bring that out of him. And it's actually very interesting after the last episode, which you guys just saw, how last thing we see is him holding the arrow underneath that cloaked red light. So kind of a hint right there. But now for the future between the two of us, our relationship, it hits a few ups and downs, as any does in the beginning. It's not the honeymoon for everybody. And I think we've kind of now divulged ourselves into a journey searching for my brother. I mean, Roy is definitely adamant about it. He's kind of, I think he gets kind of enamored with the arrow after being rescued by him. I mean, who wouldn't be? So he's just kind of divulged himself into finding out who he is, and then it's kind of actually, I don't think we really quite know what he wants to do when he finds him, whether or not it's a positive reaction or a negative one. We really know that he really is adamant about finding out who he is. And then she's supportive of him in whatever he wants to do, because she cares about him that much. So she kind of just jumps on board, and then unwillingly is now searching for her brother without even knowing it.
Okay, are you glad that Thea hasn't learned the truth about Oliver yet?
I think that it causes for a very interesting relationship between the two of them. So I don't know if I'm quite happy about it. I think it's interesting, though. I would like for her to figure it out, because I really would like to see what would happen with it. You know what I mean? I'm curious to see where it's going to go. But I do like the fact that it is adding this natural level of resentment, because Oliver's having to keep himself so very distant. And it's like, why would your brother do that to you? Why would your brother be such a distant human being when I feel like they were so very close before everything went down. I mean, even though he was the rambunctious, crazy party animal that she is now, I feel like they still really had this insanely close bond. So now that he came back, why would he have been so distant? I mean, yes, he went through a lot, but would you not want to come back and be consoled by your family? I mean,
now, if Thea were to find out, you know her better than anyone, do you feel like she would be quick to be like Felicity and Diggle and be on Team Era, or do you think she'd have that wall up?
See, that's the thing. I've been thinking about that a lot lately, actually, and I get asked that question a lot. And I think it depends on on how she finds out the situation. Like, severely, that could really change the circumstances insanely. As well as I think that Roy would have a very big part to deal with that as well. I mean, how their relationship is going, whether or not she's in a good place altogether. I mean, I think that there's a lot of elements that go along with it, but I'd like to think that she would be positive about it. I'd like to hope that she would be very positive. And yes, obviously pissed off at her brother for lying to her about this for very long, and probably very awed out by the fact that he was killing so many people, but I think she would inevitably kind of understand.
She is working with Laurel. Are we going to kind of see more of that work life explore, or are we more focusing on her love life as we go towards the end of the season?
I think there's a nice mix between the two. It's definitely more focusing on the relationship between her and Roy, because it's such a dynamic one right now. It's really actually, I mean, CNRI is what brought her outside of the house, but Roy is what's really opening her up. So I think we're really testing the waters with both of those two things. I mean, CNRI is also a very good thing for her, so I think they want to keep her grounded right now, so they'll definitely throw that in the mix.
You've done a little bit of action on the show, but is it something that you want to explore more with your character, in terms of, you see what's going on with some of these action scenes, you're like, I want some of that?
I really do. I really want to kick ass. I mean, I can't even tell you guys, that's like the reason why I signed on to the show. It was to pick up a bow and arrow and start kicking some ass. Like, I want to do some crazy fight training. I want to fit into spandex. I don't know how well it'll look, but I'm down to try it out. And like, I just always wanted to do that. So I'm quite amped for that. And every little bit that I've been doing so far, I haven't had like anything too intense or anything, but I'm always trying to do my own stuff.
Would you want? Oh, sorry.
I was going to say, sometimes it helps though if you, in your off season, if you will, on your hiatus, if you sort of come back and you demonstrate, I can do these moves.
That's actually what I was planning on doing over the summer. He's reading my mind.
Would you want the arrow to be Sia's weapon of choice? Because I feel like she'd be pretty badass with the ninja star.
Oh, hey, good idea. Maybe. I like that one. Ninja star, nunchucks.
Yeah, just like all the little ones. Because she's
China
so
White had
dainty
nunchucks,
too.
didn't
Yeah, but you could have them be prettier.
China White was gorgeous. I mean, come on.
You can have your nunchucks prettier.
Oh yeah, I'll get them jeweled. That's fine.
And how much do you think Thea's world will be rocked when she finds out what happened to Walter?
Sorry.
When she finds out what happened to Walter.
Oh God, I think. Did you say how her world is rocked?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that it's kind of toppled over insanely, especially once. If she does figure out necessarily how it does happen and why, which I don't think she's going to for a while. I think she's going to be I think we're going to be trying to keep Thea left in the dark as much as possible in the moment, just for her own safety, in all honesty, because I don't know, in the state of mind that she's in at the moment, I don't know if she'd react so properly. So, but yeah, I think that regardless, when I actually don't think I'm allowed to talk about that, actually. They said that. I was like, wait, as I'm about to say it, those words are not allowed to come out of my mouth, so I can't.
Red flag.
Sorry.
To have the count back in the mix, considering what happened the last time she had vertigo?
Sorry, what was the first part of the question?
Does it impact her to have count back in the mix?
Yes, it does impact her. I think that it's kind of a scary thing to have him back in town. It's kind of another reality check for her to see that these people are actually around and very dangerous and not just going to go away.